Alright, let's begin. What I got in front of me is the Spyder Aggressor. And I got a few other guns. I got a GO2, I got a couple autocockers, doesn't matter. But this is one of my guns. Why I'm doing a quick disassembly of this, mainly because I just want them. I like this gun, believe it or not. It's my first choice for backup gun because it doesn't take up much space in the gear bag. I got everything on it right now. But I put the rotor on it, no problem speeding. I shoot not too brittle of paint. I mean, this shoots fine with the All-Star, the Premium. Rarely with the Premium Gold, I'll break something in the barrel. Evil, I'll break that. But for the most part, I shoot All-Star, so I don't have an issue with paint breaking. So it's a great backup gun in case something goes wrong. Doesn't take up any room in the gear bag. It literally, with the tank off, hopper off, this feed neck off, takes up no room whatsoever. I'm just going to do a quick kind of review and disassembly of it and reassembly for kind of anyone interested in kind of looking at, I don't know, getting into the sport, or anyone looking for like a really cheap backup gun. I don't play tournament. I play recreation, I guess you can say. I just go for the weekend. I go for a day. I go before work. I go to relax. It's kind of what I do to, end of the week, relax. So I'm not, not competitive on anything. So for me, this is a good backup gun. I can hose it off. It can play in the rain, tornadoes, mud. Don't have to worry about it. It's gassed up right now. As you can see, gassed up. Wonder how that's going to sound on the microphone. A couple quick things about it. Actually, I'll take off the air tank. Safety first. Always have your barrel blocking device on it. The one that comes with the box is crap. It's a barrel plug. You get the thing in, you can almost never get the thing out. It'll stop the paintball from going out, but it takes a lot of force to get the plug out for $5, $2. Just these things are the best. Like I said, this is a backup gun. It comes with a standard. It's like a 200 round hopper. Nothing fancy. Simple. I kind of just keep it as a spare. I mean, I don't really do anything with it. I have a 12 volt Revy, or 9 volt Revy. 18 volt, I guess would be the correct term. There's 2 batteries in it that I use as a backup in case that goes down. But it's just something that came with it. Show you. One of the things, kind of a side note, I see people all the time unscrewing the tanks. There's no on-off on this, which, not $50, $70. What do you expect? When you're degassing it, turn it so it's just before it starts to leak out. And what I do is I'll fire a couple shots. Turn it some more. Fire a shot. Just shoot it down. That way, air is out. You pocket shoot, nothing going through. It doesn't really wear out the O-ring on the tank. Yeah, you're gonna waste some air, but it's a compressed air tank. You just go fill it up again. Big whoop to do. Get this guy out of the way. Like I said, I use the rotor on it. That way I don't have to worry about eyes or anything like that. Like I said, I play rec. It doesn't really matter how fast I'm shooting. As long as something's coming out the end of the barrel, I'm happy. Well, as long as it's not a mess coming out the end of the barrel, I'm happy. Correction on that. I know I've heard complaints about these little feed neck things breaking. I use this gun actually a lot because for a while my XT kept going down because I had a bad batch of batteries. So I always kept playing with this for about a couple months straight. No problems, no issues. I lost a couple of the nuts. You go to Home Depot, you can buy replacements. Like I said, I used the rotor. The hopper is worth more used than this is new. So go figure, it works. So, but you can get any basic electronic hopper, it'll feed fine, or you can get a shake and shoot if you really want. Take the barrel off. Alright. First things first, take the bolt out. Another reason I like these guns, for especially people starting, is as long as it's not cocked, it won't fire. So what I do is when I'm playing with this, because safety first, barrel blockers on. What I do just in case, you never know. I just hold this, pull the trigger, and just slowly let it rest against the poppet. That way you can't accidentally trip it. It won't fire a paintball, no matter what you do. Even with the safety. Because that'll wear out over time. It's just plastic. But that's it. Also, when I'm removing the bolt to clean, I like to cock it. That way it's easier to find the spot the hammer goes in. Otherwise I'm fishing around half the time trying to figure out how to get this thing back in. Maybe I'm just not that brilliant, but that's me. Nice little thing. I got a little groove in there so it doesn't wear out the detent. Yeah, it works. Take the back cap off with the velocity adjuster inside. You can actually adjust this without the Allen keys. You can just take it off to adjust, and you can kind of screw it up and down. So if you don't have keys on you, you can always adjust the velocity on this thing. It's not a little bad thing to know, I guess. Like I said, it's a cheap paintball gun. It works. I think for the price tag, you're getting the, you get what you pay for. It's decent. It works. Fires a paintball. What more do you want? Sorry if this becomes boring because I stopped talking, or maybe you just want me to shut up. So maybe in that case it's good I'm not talking as much while I'm taking this apart. Don't really have much to say. I mean, kind of already said my 2 cents about it. I'm not going to do like an efficiency on this or anything. It's not really worth it. I mean, come on, it's my backup gun. I don't even really care what the efficiency is on most of my markers. It's just, like I said, I don't have to worry about that. I just play recreation. I mean, I play scenarios and stuff, but I'm not like, hardcore. I go, friends, family. Just for the fun of it, so to speak. There goes the hammer. Falls right out. Just to save time, I'm not going to take out. There's 2 screws here. You can use the same Allen key that comes with the gun. You take them out. There's nothing else to really take out. I'm just going to leave it on. There's no point to really take it apart and show you. I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's like every other paintball gun. When you're taking this off, just be wary of the small, I don't know if you can see it, little O-ring right there on the screw. So just be careful when you're taking it off that you don't lose that, because that seals when the air is pressured up. And there's pressurized air in the gun. It keeps it from escaping, so kind of seals it. So don't lose that, otherwise you're going to be hearing a hissing noise when you're trying to gas up your Spyder Aggressor. Easiest way to find to get the valves out is just take the hammer, stick it in the back, just kind of hammer it down a few times, pop it, and here's the valve with the hammer. Surprise, surprise. That's pretty much it. The feed neck also comes off. You can use your standard screwdriver. Lost the term for a minute. You can take the detent off also if you really want to. There's really not much to see for that. I mean, I'm not going to take this off just because I Loctited these on, because if you don't Loctite these on, you're just going to fall off on you while you're playing. But like I said, I've been playing for this like a couple months straight, a while back. No issues once I Loctited these on. That was my only complaint about this, was the screws would not hold it tight enough so it would wiggle loose and fall off. But once you put a dab of Loctite on each one, it works fine, no issues. That's it. It's pretty easy. You can take this thing, run it under the faucet, let it dry, run a towel through it. You can run swabs through it, do whatever. Cleans it out nice. It's easy to clean. Not many parts to it. Simple. Alright, put it back together. There's not really much to explain. Because when you're putting it back together, a couple of things to note. The hammer is a little O-ring here. Just make sure you put the hammer in first before you put the grip frame on. Otherwise, what's going to happen when you try and push the hammer back into the marker, you're going to end up catching it on this little piece of metal here. It's going to end up cutting it and nicking it. Sometimes it won't do any real damage to it and it'll still work, but sometimes you'll nick it just enough where it won't recock. It'll just go back partway and fire again and make like a burp noise. So, just a little tidbit, I guess. Happened to a kid who was playing the other day at the field. Yeah, I don't know if he paid the field to fix his gun for him or not, but it wasn't working afterwards. He couldn't figure it out, so it was an older Spyder, real old Spyder. I said, yeah, I got a couple of spare O-rings. That's what it was, threw it on, worked. So like I said, I told him the same thing, you know, you gotta be careful when you're putting this back in. Make sure the frame's off when you're doing it, otherwise you're gonna have a fruitless endeavor, so to speak. Okay, put it back together. Start with the valve. There's a smaller hole on one end and a bigger hole on another, and then you have the kind of a blocked portion, and then you have a hole where the air goes up into the bolt, fires the ball. So you want to make sure the part that has the hole where the air goes up into the bolt is facing up into the breech of the marker. And this little piece where a screw fits into is facing down. And also, when you're putting it in, for pretty much, I think it's the same on most Spyders, you got the bigger hole and you got the smaller hole. The smaller hole goes facing the back of the marker, and the bigger hole faces the front. So I'm going to put that in just like so. Line it up while I put it in. I'm going to use this portion to push it back in. There we go, nice and lined up. Here's the lug. Screw this in back by hand, and then use the Allen wrench to finish it up. Grab the wrong size? I grabbed the wrong size. That's that college education at work for you there, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're putting this in the spring, obviously it's going to push it back up. So you got to kind of push and hold it while you're putting this part back on. It's a little tricky. I kind of use like an Allen key to kind of help line up the hole a little bit. Kind of, you know, push it into the right spot. Not too difficult, but I'm sure I'll take a little bit to get it on. There we go. Like I said, this is just my backup gun. I think it's a pretty good gun. I see some people, they don't like these type of things. Spyders suck, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it works. It's good. I think it's a good gun for people, like, you know, once a year. I mean, hell, you can buy a pack, it comes with a mask and a 9-ounce tank, and that's pretty much good for, you know, a day of play. For just someone who's going to be playing, like, you know, once a year, you know, maybe even like every other month. I mean, especially if you don't have a lot of money. I mean, the main thing is just go play and have fun. But who knows, maybe having fun's shooting more paint. But yeah, I'd shoot as much paint if I could afford it, but put the hammer back in. There you go. spring in. I gotta put the bolt on first before I start screwing the back cap on, because I want to get that hole lined up with the hammer so the bolt can go on without, because if I start turning it with this not connected, it'll spin and then I'll lose the hole. Spin this back on. We're almost done. I tell you, easy. Don't need to tighten these down too much. Just as an FYI, I've noticed over time taking this apart. Just, you know, snug, not over tight, because it's a pain to get them back off. And that's pretty much it, apart from putting the barrel back on. Barrel back on. Spyder Aggressor. Like I said, I think it's a good paintball gun, especially if you're starting out, just need something to play with. You can get a pack for, I think I got this Bass Pro for like 80 bucks, 70 bucks. Came with a 9-ounce tank, mask, parts. You know, nothing fancy. But it's everything you need to start to play. It works, you know, for the price tag, it works. Just get everything you need, especially when you're going to play, like, you know, once a year, you know. If you're a parent going with a kid or something, the kid's got, you know, some space-looking gun, space-age-looking gun maybe, you're probably thinking, you know, this is probably a good thing for you to just pick up for yourself. You can go play with them, have a ball, not have to worry about it, and just run under tap water to pretty much wash all the gook off of it. Then the only real maintenance you ever really have to do for this, you don't have to almost never take this thing apart, maybe like once every 5 years, as long as you do basic maintenance, and just put a couple drops of oil that it comes with. Don't have a label on the bottle anymore, it fell off, but it's paintball oil comes with. Put a couple drops in the ASA every time you gas it up. It keeps it lubricated and working. I've been doing this for Tippmanns, autocockers for years, and almost never had to replace internal O-rings. So I put in a couple drops in the ASA. You know, just, it's easy. Nothing to it. That's everything.